Hi, I'm Ellen Gormley and welcome to my channel. So this is my part 2 of Intro to Knitting for Crocheters. I have 3 knit stitches here, but I want to teach you how to purl. So purling means that you're bringing the working yarn, the one that's attached to the ball, to the front, in front of the needle that has all the loops on it. So to purl, this is tricky, but I'll show you a few times slowly. We're going to insert the needle here. Okay, so the working yarn is way up here in front. Insert the needle back here. Wrap the yarn around the back of the needle. I know this is a tricky little continental trick, but this is what works for me. And then you push that yarn to the back of the work, and then you pull it off the needle. Fancy, isn't it? But guess what, friends? Knitting is basically just those 2 stitches, just knitting and purling. So when you get these, you'll be really, really good to go. So the working yarn is here. Now, just to remind you, I did an introduction to knitting, and the yarn was back here behind the looped needle. It was back there behind it. But to purl, you have to bring the working yarn in front. Then I bring it way in front while I am inserting my needle from right to left underneath that next loop, wrapping it around the back. See how it's wrapped around the back now? See, there it is. And then I push it to the back of the fabric. Now this is similar to Tunisian crochet, which I have instructions for on my page as well, because you're bringing that working yarn to the front for purling in Tunisian purl stitch, just like your Tunisian purling, or you're purling here for knitting. So knitting is a process. The knit stitch is where you're bringing the yarn to the front of the work. Purling, you're pushing the yarn to the back. So let's do it again slowly. The working yarn is in front. I'm inserting the needle. I'm wrapping the yarn around the needle so that it's going to be pushing through to the back of the work, and then off it comes from that working needle. So here we go, a couple more. Now we're wrapping, so the purl stitch wraps that yarn around the front surface of the stitch. I've got one more to go, and that's the one I always think I'm going to drop, but I'm not going to. Wrap it around so that it pushes the stitch to the back. Now if I take that and kind of pull this down, you can see this little horizontal bump is a purl bump. It's a purl bump in Tunisian crochet. It's a purl bump when you make purl stitches for knitting. That is the result of bringing that yarn to the front before you insert your needle. I hope that helps. Please let me know if you want more beginner elementary knitting for crocheters. I'd like to give a shout out to Meredith N, Claudette D, and Jennifer W. Thanks so much. Like and subscribe for more videos.